Hey guys, how to get more bookkeeping clients as a freelance bookkeeper. Now, this one is going to be a little bit about the intangible skills as well as the tangible skills that you need to have, and like the tactics of like, do this, do this, do this, right? But what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of this business is not necessarily like a one, like failed, like people are like, I'm going to fail. It's like, it's not this one cataclysmic event that caused you to fail. It's more like 1,000 micro or mini kind of steps that happen to you that cause either success or cause failure, and you just like bleed out. So number one, okay, and also if you want some help growing your business but you just don't quite know what you don't quite know, go ahead and click the link inside the description either above or below the video to book a call with myself, see if I can help you inside of our program. So what a lot of people don't understand is like when you're first getting started, you need to be flexible. And I'm assuming that if you're watching this, like you're not inside of our mentorship program at this moment in time, right? So I try to give you advice that would help you with where you're at right now. If you're inside of our mentorship program, it's a little bit different because you have more customized support. But for most people, like you have to be very flexible, okay? So I was talking to this person who's not inside of our mentorship program. We've been kind of like talking off and on for like a couple of months. And I asked her like, hey, how are things going? It's been almost a year and a half and she still hasn't gotten her first client. She actually had a person who wanted to work with her but wanted to do a one-time cleanup. So basically it's like maybe let's say that the person is like 12 to 24 months behind in their books. And they need for you to go back through time, basically either fix things or catch them up to where they are current, catch them up and bring them to be current at one time, right? And so most times it's like 50% of people want to only just do a cleanup. 50% of people want to clean up then ongoing services. So it just really depends on the person that you're speaking with and that you're speaking to. However, this person says, I don't offer just cleanups and no other bookkeeper is going to just clean up your books for you. I was like, well, one, I probably wouldn't tell them that no other person would do it. I mean, that kind of lowers your credibility right there. Especially if they've spoken to someone that's willing to do just the cleanup. Number two, it's like, okay, well, if you've never had a client before, even if it's not like the monthly services, I would still see if you can do the one-time service just to go get some clients, just to get some money flowing into your business, and just to get the ball rolling. Like, be flexible. Like, what's the worst thing that happens of you just doing the cleanups? You get some experience, you get some money, you get some income. There's all positives. Why would you not do it? But because the person's very original, no, I don't offer cleanups. Or if I do a cleanup, like I need for you to give me the monthly work as well. It's like, okay, well, you just missed out on a person that actually wants to work with you, and you're still saying I haven't never gotten a client, no one's taking me seriously, blah blah blah, right? It's because you just need to be flexible. Like when you're in the beginning, like your first client is gonna be your worst client. Like it just literally how it is. Like, you're not going to have any onboarding processes in place. You're not going to really have money contracts. You're not going to have the perfect pricing strategy. Like, it's just going to be terrible, right? It's like, now we give you all that stuff inside of our program, but if you're just watching this, you're not in a program right now, like, this is kind of what you have to do. You have to kind of struggle bust it all the way up, you know? And it's going to take you some time. Like, you might see people that where it's like, oh, this person made $8,000, $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 a month, right? And whether it's my program or someone else, like you're gonna see these videos, and they're like, "Well, I can do it too." It's like, well, the main thing you're missing is the people that get there very quickly. If you see them in a video, that means they probably joined a program that showed them how to do it. Like if you see someone in a testimonial video, it wasn't that the person in the testimonial video was a magic person. It's that the person who's interviewing them helped them go and get to that goal. That's one misconception I see sometimes. Like people are like, oh, I saw this person on your testimonial video. Man, they must have been very gifted. It's like, no, they joined a mentorship program because they didn't know what to do. That's why they do that. Like literally, right? So it's like you just gotta be very flexible and just have to be moving. Next thing, you have to be very precise. Okay, so every single time you speak on the phone with a person, you need to move the deal at least 1 to 2 steps towards working with you. Okay, what are the different steps? Let's just say it, right? Person finds out you exist. Person expresses an interest. Person builds consultation call. Like you talk about like the proposal and the pricing. You then negotiate about it. person signs the contract, right? So that's what 7 steps, right? After they've signed the contract, there's an onboarding email and there's an onboarding call. So we can say eight steps, like in totality. Just keep it simple, 6 steps. Okay, so every time I talk to someone on the phone, I need to move either 1 step or 2 steps. Every time, right? So I can close the deal and get it buttoned up and signed away as quickly as possible. I don't want this thing to take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 days to go and get the commitment with the person. I want to make sure that I can get this thing moving as quickly as possible. 12 p.m. I ain't good. 12 p.m. People. One thing I don't like doing too, I do not like doing, like, we're having accounting clients that still have a full-time job. That's one thing. I was texting this guy that's a new prospective client, and he has a full-time job in addition to his business. It's like, oh, that's annoying, because then they have like random meetings that they go to for like work and stuff. That's annoying. I think we're probably gonna have the contract signed by like middle of day today, so should be good. Should be ready to go and get everything moving. It's a pretty basic client. I mean, it needs some monthly books. They need a cleanup because they need to get their taxes done. They also need some tax work done as well. So we're gonna be doing the tax work. We're gonna be doing the cleanup. We're gonna do the ongoing monthly bookkeeping as well. That's one thing that I like. That I sometimes like doing, because my partner, one of my uncles, he's a CPA, so he really likes doing like business taxes and stuff. So that's one thing we added like in the last like 2 years. So really, it's a good service. I kind of like it because like you can use the tax return as like leverage to get someone to move. Now, I have noticed in some cases that people that need help filing the taxes tend to be on like more of like the $500 to $600 a month kind of range, which is not the best, but it's not like terrible, because of the fact that you get a cleanup plus you get the taxes as well, right? So let's say you get a cleanup, so the cleanup's already giving you like 1 year's minimum worth of like value up front. Then you have the tax return as well. So I mean, you're already about a year into the future as far as like the future cash flow. So it just helps you if you're trying to grow faster when it comes to like getting money from advertising. So it's like if you want to build your company from scratch and you want to go like slow, then like you wouldn't necessarily need taxes or anything. But it's like if you're trying to go fast. So actually, let me break it down. So if you're trying to grow really fast, you're trying to use advertisements. Let's say for advertisement, it costs you between $350 to like $1,000 to get one new client with advertisements. If you just do a corporate tax return between like $1,000, like maybe $2,000, we'll just say, just for round numbers. If let's say it's $1,000 on the minimum for like a business return, okay. So if you're charging $1,000, you know it costs you $500 to go get a client. You basically just essentially just got 2 more clients, right? So if you're trying to grow faster, you take that $1,000 and you immediately go redistribute it back into advertising. So now you go get 2 more monthly clients who hopefully need either another tax return or they need some sort of cleanup, right? So you're getting inside of your cash flow a lot faster, rather than like getting a client who's like just starting from like scratch and then they're paying like $600 a month or $1,000 a month. So it's a different growth strategy, right? If you're doing it organically, which like we teach inside our program, which is organic marketing method, which are like low cost or free marketing methods that involve more automation or time, then it's not as big of a deal. But when you start shifting more to advertising, when there's an actual hard cost that's coming out of it, I like to have my client today pay for all of my future clients moving forward. And that way, all you need to do is really need to do about, what is that, 20,000, 30,000. You really only need to do about $40,000 worth of tax returns to go and have a, what is that, 350? Give me 1 second. I'm just doing some quick math for you right here. 100, sorry. 350, we'll say 400 per client times 20 clients. Sorry, you only need about $8,000. $8,000 to go and get to 10 grand a month. Times 1, 2. I was talking to this one gentleman about $8,000 in ad spend in order to go and get, to about $96,000 to $100,000 per year. Which, there's a lot of skills that have to go on, which is why I don't encourage people to do advertising, right? Because, okay, so there's two different types of investment, right? So you can invest in a program, you can invest with a marketing agency, you can invest in direct advertising. If you're starting out, I do not recommend investing in direct advertising, because direct advertising has so many different variables, and the leads that you're talking to are very trash in a lot of cases. Direct ads, if you don't know what you're doing, will attract very, very trash leads. And that's coming from a guy that has a lot of patience when it comes to trash leads. I have a lot of patience on these calls. But the leads are trash and get a lot of them, right? So if you're not used to rejection, it's not great. And then sometimes I'll put false contact information inside of there. It's not a good deal. It's not the best. Next thing is having a marketing agency. I probably wouldn't do that either, because on top of the marketing fee, the advertising budget you have to put up, you also pay for their monthly fee as well. So it's you're technically being double charged or triple charged. And if your sales skills suck, you're not going to get any clients. So for most people, they should generally start with coaching. Develop your internal skills first, so that while you're on the phone with anybody, you can get a client. Like the one I was talking to today, who's going to sign the contract probably next hour or two. So that guy, I just met him yesterday morning on the phone. So he basically came in through one of our ads, literally reached out to him, and then 5 minutes later, he's like, okay, cool, let's get this stuff moving. So it's been less than 24 hours to go get a client from this, right? But it's that's skill set. That's skill set, right? There was a lot of things that we had to kind of handle within that call to move this guy forward. We had to see if there's other people he was speaking to. We had to see what his objections were. He actually had a fear objection and a monetary objection, right? So we had to take, instead of doing the whole cleanup, the whole cost of the cleanup, getting that up front, we had to take about 30%. Initially we said 50, he wanted about 30%. So within there's a negotiation, and then is it a cash flow where he can't afford it, or is it more of a value where he doesn't want to? It was a little bit of both. It was a little bit of a fear-based objection where he's I just met you guys 30 minutes ago. If I was to pay you, would you run away forever, kind of thing. And then the other thing was the cash flow. He wasn't really expecting to pay as much money as what we charged him, and he wasn't expected to pay in day number one. So he wanted some time to kind of collect the money. Okay, cool, man. We'll give you 24 hours, so you'll get your 30% deposit. So very interesting kind of deal. But it's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes things take a little longer. What I really want to do, I want to go and, what is that? I want to get 650 times about another 20. I want to go and add another probably 20 clients over the next 6 months. Average would be about 650 a month for these new clients. So I want to add about 13 grand a month, just because. Not really any rhyme or reason for it. I just want to keep growing. So we did some infrastructure restructuring where we brought on some new people. We trained our team a little bit better, and now we have better systems in place. So I definitely, now that we have this new advertising strategy in place, it's it's very, very, very simple. You take about about $1,300 and it turns into 4 or 5 clients. It's ridiculous. So that's the new thing that we're gonna be really messing around with and really attacking. So I'm very interested to see. I don't know. I might end up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in 3 or 4 years, I might actually put it up to the point where we're doing $1 million a year for the accounting firm. We'll see. It has not really been one of my main priorities to do $1 million per year inside of business, inside of this business, just because I have never needed it. But it's just one of those things, just one of those things. Okay, next thing you need. I gotta get going. We will pause this for now, and I will see you when I come back. So funny, when you switch things and become more professional, so much more red tape that kind of comes along with it. You have to remember to turn on these lights beforehand. But it's whatever. Sometimes it's just the cost of doing business, right? So next thing that you have to be really good at is sales, okay? So when it comes to sales, sales is all about what you don't say. So I almost like to think about sales as kind of like balancing on a tightrope on top of like the Empire State Building. Now, when I say that, it's generally because most people, what happens is they talk and talk and they talk, but they never really hit the points or the pains of what is relevant to the other person. So they kind of just end up just talking, kind of like talking in circles, and the person never really buys into what you're saying completely. Even worse so is that if you're supposedly talking to the person, but it's just every single thing that you're saying is just not relevant to actually what they want, what they're interested in, what they're thinking about, you end up losing the person, but you just expend a bunch of energy at the same time. So it's like, so not only do you lose the lead, but you also like have just exhausted all this energy, and the other person doesn't even want to work with you, and it's just very, very frustrating, right? So whenever I'm thinking, yeah, it's annoying. This this new camera, I'm trying to figure out how to make it how to get it to hold some charge. New camera I'm trying to start using for this YouTube channel, but it's like it's all the stuff that you say is what's going to lose the sale. It's all the stuff that you don't say that saves the sale. As you get better and better at sales, it's almost like you have this sixth sense of like, don't say this. It's like you're talking, skip this phrase. Don't say this. This person will not understand this. This will add confusion. Okay, do not add this because it's going to add another phone call to this. Right? It's really a game of taking things away, and it's almost in addition to like walking like a tightrope, it's almost like thinking about the game of baseball. So when you're playing the game of baseball, baseball is one of the only sports that tracks errors and tracks things in terms of like percentages, right? So they're always thinking about like, what is your error? What is your on base percentage, right? And oftentimes the ones that are like the on base percentage or batting averages are like the best ones are generally between like 0.3 to like maybe 0.4, like max, right? Because most people are going to make a lot errors a lot more times than what they don't. So it's really the one that makes the least amount of mistakes is actually considered the better person inside of that sport. It's the same thing as in sales. Like the person that makes the least amount of mistakes on average is a person that's going to close the most amount of deals. And then going back to our tightrope example, the better you get at sales, it's almost like your tightrope, rather than being on the Empire State Building and it's super skinny, it's like 3 feet above the ground, and it turns like a wood plank. It's just a flat thing you just walk across because it's just so much easier, right? And it just gets bigger and bigger, and you get closer and closer to the ground every single time that you do one of these like sales consultation calls, and you get even better at sales. So it's all interrelated, but that's how you start getting more clients as a freelance bookkeeper. Hopefully you learned something new. Talk to you soon. My name is Bryce, and hey, if you want some help growing your business, but you just don't quite know, like, what you don't know, and you don't know why either you're planning or your business is not going as well as what you wanted, but you know that if you had a proven process, it would actually take you to your goal, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video. Book a call with myself. Let's see if we can help you out inside of our mentorship program, okay? I will talk to you soon, and if that's the right thing for you, I will see you on the call. Have a good rest of your day.